I don't know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Shane Eaches here, joined by color commentary man Aaron Ortega, and we're all set for another strong night of action here in the Delco Pro-Am, and we are all set for Game 1 between Stomp Off and Omega Medical. Stomp Off coming into this one currently sitting at 3-4 on a bit of a losing skid, and Omega Medical coming in at 4-3 on the heels of a tough loss the other night to KLM Insurance.
Yeah, KLM played a great game the other night. In large part thanks to Nate Edwards, who dropped 29 points and a great shooting performance. Really carried KLM in that one.
Yeah, so Aaron, going forward, what does Stomp Off have to do to get off of their losing streak here tonight? What would you say are their keys to victory?
Number one for them is get back to what they do best, and that's slow the pace down, slow the tempo. Omega Medical is a team that can really get out and run. Very athletic team, not the kind of game that Stomp Off likes to play. So step one for them, slow it down and get back to doing what you do best, get in the half-court set, get a good open shots. Step two, or key two rather, get back defensively. We mentioned Omega can really run. If they get behind you in transition, they're going to score easy buckets about 95% of the time when they have the opportunities for that. So they will absolutely burn you in transition game. So key three for Stomp Off in this one is really shoot the ball well. A big team, Omega Medical, with Rob Kurtz, Antonio Pena, Dan Giroux. These are guys that can really fill it up down low and can play great interior defense. So if you're Doug Davis, Brian Cohen, those guys especially, if you're Stomp Off, really need to shoot the ball well from outside if Stomp Off's going to win this game.
Yeah, so you mentioned Stomp Off needing to shoot the ball well coming off of their losing streak. What would Omega Medical have to do to come off of their loss the other night here?
Well, one big thing for them is going to be pushing the tempo, just the opposite of Stomp Off. Stomp Off, as you said, loves to slow the pace down, not Omega's game. If they can get out and run and utilize their athleticism, take advantage of that, it's going to result in a lot of easy transition buckets for them. So that's key one for them. Key two, rather, share the ball a little bit more. We saw against KLM, what really killed them was the fact that they tried playing a one-on-one game the entire night. Like Sean Singletary taking the ball 90 feet all the way down the floor with no passes whatsoever and quick shots. A lot of open frames, we'll say.
Yeah, you see Dan Giroux only checking in with 2 points on the stat sheet the other night. I think he only took 3 shots the entire game. A big guy down low. He could certainly exploit Stomp Off tonight.
He really can, and a big reason he only took a couple shots was because they really weren't sharing the ball offensively. It was one guy would get the ball in his hands and just say, all right, I'm going to take this to the bucket and score it or at least shoot it. So really, it's going to be really important for them to play a team game and utilize those bigger guys down low. Giroux, the guy that can put up 25 points a game if he gets the ball in his hands. So that's going to be key number 2. Key number 3 is don't get frustrated with each other. You saw when KLM the last game played a tight defense and forced turnovers. Guys got a little bit frustrated with each other on that Omega Medical roster. You mentioned it in the broadcast, Shane, and that really took its toll. That's when guys really started playing that one-on-one and not trusting each other as much in that game, and it came back to bite them in the end as they lost 67-61 to KLM. So can't afford to do that tonight, otherwise it'll be another loss against Stomp Off.
All right, so there you go. Avoiding frustration going to be one of the keys for Omega. We will see if they can do it, as Stomp Off certainly has a tendency to play a very frustrating style here. And we'll see what happens to this one, folks. Stay tuned. Stomp Off and Omega Medical coming just ahead.